Okay.
Hey, everybody. I am Dr. Sophia Dorton Caudle, and welcome to our brand new podcast for our brand new practice in Charlotte, North Carolina, Queen City Healthy Sex and Relationships. And that's also the name of our practice. And I am super excited to be here with y'all today. We have a really nice, just relaxed conversation that we're going to have this morning just to share with you about who we are and what we're bringing to Charlotte. Also, what we'll be doing differently at the Charlotte practice that's different in the Durham practice. And that's going to be a lot of similarities, but we're also going to be adding some different programming. And I just wanted to say welcome to my amazing team members, family members, and associates. I learned so much from y'all. I'm just super grateful to be working with y'all and to know you. Jeff, we've been together for a very long time now,
Yeah.
our duo. And Celine, lovely to have you just recently joining us. And I'm super excited that you're here with us. And then Caroline, we've been together. And everybody, I'm not sure if you can see Caroline, but actually, Caroline, you're a little blurry. I don't know if you need to move up a little, it looks like. But Caroline's name is not there, but Caroline is Caroline Rutledge, and I'm going to let her talk about herself. But Caroline and I have been together for such a long time as well. So this is a really, I'm going to say this is really my power team. And I was talking about each of y'all the other night with my partner, and this is a really exciting team for me to be on and for me to be a part of and for me to work with. And each of you has an expertise that I don't have and that none of the other of us have. And to me, that is really a power team. You are all go-getters. You're all incredibly talented and smart in the areas that you focus in. And again, this is what I call a power team. And Charlotte is a power city. And I'm super excited that we are going to finally be expanding into Charlotte. I've wanted to do it a long time ago. Didn't work out. My son needed me because I'm a mommy also, and that's my most important job. And now he's flying the nest and going off to dental school. And so it's all working out fine. And I don't have to pay for dental care anymore. And that's going to be really good. And so I'm just thrilled. This is a really exciting thing for me personally and professionally. I'm just super excited to have y'all with me. And let's just talk a little bit, you all, about who we are and what we do. And some of the things that we're going to be able to do with people who live in Charlotte, but not just Charlotte, all of North Carolina. And for those of you who don't know us, you might not know who Bull City Psychotherapy is, and that's fine. We have a big practice in the Triangle in North Carolina. We serve all the Triangle. We also have an office in Wilmington, and we do workshops with people all over the state and also all over the world around all kinds of things around human sexuality and grief and attachment healing. And we're expanding that to lots of other topics around eating disorders, gender diversity, transgender care. We have a lot of different offerings. So I just wanted to hear, maybe I'll go last and kind of fill in the blanks. And I just wanted to hear from all of you about what you're excited about and why you want to be a part of this new practice. This is like a new beginning. And so we can write it and we can do whatever we want. And that's pretty cool and that's pretty exciting. So let's see where to start. I think I'll start with oldie but goodie. That's going to be my guy, Jeff. So let's hear
Sure.
from you, Jeff.
Oh, so I'm excited because I just think the opportunities there to meet new people and to be able to offer what we can do there is going to be astounding and really exciting. So what I bring to the team is I'm a CSAT trained person, but my background happens to be within the church, and I have my Master's of Divinity from Gordon Conwell and was a youth pastor and associate pastor for a number of years, and then went in and got trained to do counseling. And so I concentrated on anything to do with sexuality, purity, and development, and all that good stuff. And I just enjoy bringing that kind of foot in two worlds, if you will, of faith and also struggles. I would say most of my clientele are men who are dealing with sex addiction and porn addiction and things like that, but also working with the families, spouses, and having healing going through that way. And so a lot of times I'll get people of faith who are trying to work through this. And that brings me joy to be able to combine that together and allow that part of healing happen in all parts of their growth. And we've seen a lot of good, healthy development and a lot of families healed. And I just enjoy that immensely. So that's primarily my bread and butter and who I am and what I bring to the practice.
Thanks for that, Jeff. I've only been really researching and spending time in Charlotte, I would say for a short time, maybe the past 6 months. But what I have noticed is your expertise is going to really be just an invaluable godsend to the community because the church is really, really important
Yes.
in that area.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of amazing CSATs and Christian counselors already in
Mhm.
Charlotte, and you're going to meet a lot of great therapists and a lot of great people. And
Awesome.
there's a lot of wonderful people that are going to want to work with you because you do have a unique skill set that I've not met anybody else there who
Mm.
actually does have your exact credentials and background. And so, I think it's going to be an amazing spot for you. So I'm super excited that you're involved, and obviously excited to continue to be with you and to
Yeah, I am
share,
too.
yeah, to share cases with you. And
Yeah.
it's fun doing new things. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm thrilled. And so, yay! And yeah, you are a very, very special man, a very special therapist. And I think maybe one thing I might want to add about you, if it's okay, is
Sure.
you're an excellent couples
Mm.
therapist. You're also a sex therapist,
Mhm.
and you might primarily work with men, male sex addicts, maybe potentially, or men with other issues. But partners who've experienced betrayal trauma absolutely adore working with you,
Mm.
whether individually or in a coupleship, and that's pretty rare for somebody to really be able to kind of walk both of those camps and do it well.
Mm.
So I just wanted to make sure I verbalize that for people to hear that you are, you have there's a special quality that you have that you're very inclusive.
Mhm.
And sometimes when we talk about Christian counseling,
Mm.
that's not the case. And that's not been my experience with you. You are incredibly inclusive. So,
Yeah.
for all people. And that again, that's very special.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, all right, Miss Caroline, sweet Caroline. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So tell us about yourself. We have really big plans for Charlotte.
Yes, I'm so excited. Yes. So again, my name's Caroline Rutledge. I use she, her pronouns. And I am just so excited to be a part of this exciting opportunity to expand to Charlotte and to bring some of the amazing work that we all do to the Queen City. I'm originally from Salisbury, North Carolina, outside of Charlotte, and lived in Charlotte for a year when I was little. And that was kind of where we went growing up to do things. And I have some family there now. So it's kind of fun to think about kind of heading back that way. And, and just networking with the Charlotte community. My background is in eating disorders. And I have spent the past few years working in higher levels of care. So with eating disorders, I worked in all levels of care from inpatient all the way now to outpatient. So residential, PHP, IOP. Um, and that's really, lived experience that led me there and to kind of pursue counseling later in life and to help those that struggle with eating disorders. And I think it's amazing how people come across your path. Sophia's been one of those for me that's been an incredible mentor and has supported my journey. And I just have really in the past year come to private practice full time. And in doing that, I've learned so much from Sophia, Jeff, and Celeste are already, just especially with expanding into sex addiction. So I'm in the process of becoming CSAT trained. I'm a CSAT candidate. And I think where I am really wanting to hone my expertise is really the co occurring nature of sex addiction and eating disorders, and just the way eating disorders do impact us sexually, whether it's intimacy, whether it's changing our bodies. Um, just really, really kind of like honing in on how these different addictions work together. Um, and right now, I'm also expanding into some adolescent work. So I'm curious as to like what that might look like in the Charlotte community as well. So I'm working with all ages right now. I work with a lot of college age kids
Uh-oh.
as well. Is it what's going on? Is it okay?
I think I think your internet might be wonky. I
Uh,
can't tell though.
that might be the case. Lovely technology these days.
No.
um, yeah, I love all ages. I work with a lot of college age kids, and right now seeing some partners of sex addicts. But again, through my current trainings, really trying to expand. So that's my wheelhouse at the moment, and I'm excited to bring that to Charlotte. As well as all of North Carolina. I think finding access to good resources and good care is something that we're constantly needing. And so to be a part of that expansion, I think is really exciting just to be a presence where it's needed.
Yeah, that's all good stuff. Agreed. And yeah, you have a lot of um, we've done one podcast on the creation of our comprehensive sex and food program, which is really new. There's really nobody else that's doing that, and we're gonna be a forerunner in that. And Charlotte's gonna be where we really roll that out. So you have a lot of expertise that to bring to this area again in all of North Carolina. And then we're already, scheduled a workshop for anyone around the world who wants to participate in that. And yeah, so we're getting ready to start advertising that. So please stay tuned. I think that's going to be in April, towards the end of
Mhm.
April. I can't remember the date right off the top of my head, but it's coming up. And yeah, so I'm super excited for um, you being a part of this as well. And you've been incredibly helpful to me in so many ways. So thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
Like,
grow some good stuff. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. Now, Celine, I can't even tell you how impressed I am with you. I've told you 1,000 times that, so this is the funniest story. I mean, I never thought this would ever happen. That first of all, that I would ever take an intern is shocking because I've been asked thousands of times. My answer is always no. We are a specialized practice. An intern is not specialized. I want them to get, their training, but it just can't be here. And, I'm always trying to help find placements for people, but we can't have an intern here. And, Celine, when you showed up, I was like, who is this person? Like, and so you already had so much knowledge around all things that we do around human sexuality, and you already knew that you were going to be a CSAT and that you were going to specialize in these different areas around sex and human development. And the fact that you were willing to start your training before you started here and get EMDR training, I was like, absolutely. Come on. And so you have been amazing. And I've said this from the beginning. I tell your supervisors, well, before you graduated, that you know more than a lot of licensed therapists that I've worked with over the years, and certainly about sexual issues. So I'm thrilled that you're with us in Durham as well as Charlotte, and I'm so excited that you want to expand to Charlotte as well. I'm also thrilled because I finally have a partner in transgender care issues, and so I'm excited for everything new that we're going to do and bring to the practice, and not just bring to the practice in Charlotte, but again, this is um, a lot of these offerings. These are going to be with people all around the state and all around the world, so workshops can be done with people all over. It's not limited to our geographic small little region where someone can come in the office. That's great when that happens, and we do that too. But with the internet, that's a COVID blessing. We're really able to reach people, and it's more of the norm now. So Celine, we have big, big, big plans as well. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, recent graduate, newly licensed. Um, I feel like I went through boot camp with you, therapy boot camp. And I did come to the practice knowing that all things sex and gender are where I want to do my work. It's such a human part of our experience in life. And it's a place that people are just afraid to ask questions, afraid to experience, afraid to explore. And I want to confront that with people. I want to help people um, have the healthy sex and gender relationship with themselves that they want to have. Um, I am almost done with my CSET training. I have one mod left, and I'll get that done this year. Um, I am getting my transgender certification. I have classes at the end of this month, and then I'll be done, and I will be certified in transgender care. Um, I am working on my PhD in clinical sexology in order to do sex therapy specifically. Um, and I am queer, part of the kink community, and part of the polyamory community. And so I feel like I bring a lot of personal experience to this, and years of practice in my own personal life. Um, I think you could safely describe me as a sex and gender nerd. Like the science of it, the experience of it, all of that is really important to me, and I want to bring that to my work with people. I think it's a privilege to work with people, to help them learn how to have intimacy, how to have connection in life, how to relate to people when they may not have learned how to do that, how to do that after trauma. Um, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be working with you, Sophia, and Jeff and Caroline. Um, I'm grateful for this opportunity to expand into Charlotte and to be there. One other piece of my background that interests me and I'm getting more training in is religious trauma. I have a history in the church. I have worked in ministry. I've got my Bible and theology degree. And a lot of where my interest is in the intersection between sexuality and religious experience. And I think it's a different thing than Jeff's talking about. For me, this is really about people who've been hurt in that context. And that's a thing that's near and dear to my heart. And so I want to bring that to Charlotte as well.
Gosh, I'm just thinking you and Jeff should have an ongoing podcast conversation, because the difference of where y'all are
Mhm.
coming from, and but also the purpose that both of you share is really powerful, and there's a lot of healing really for both of y'all to be together. there's a lot of healing that could happen just in the podcast realm. So that's something that will be amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Can
Thanks
I
for
just
that,
say,
Celine. Yeah, I'm just
yeah, I just wanted to say real quick too, as you were talking, Celine, it dawned on me the number of clients I work with eating disorders that have had religious trauma or have a background with religious trauma or purity culture or something like that, as well
Mhm.
as gender identity. There's a huge intersectionality there. So I think that could be, something for us to talk more about too. I think that would be really powerful as well.
Yeah. Oh, Caroline, I'm so sorry. We missed the last part of what you were saying. And Jeff, I know a lot of people that you've worked with that have experienced lots of religious shame and,
Mhm.
not far away from trauma, and probably a lot of trauma there. And so I think we're all talking about something similar. These are conversations that are great because it's really nice to see how when people just sit down and talk, we're really not that far apart. And
Mhm.
it's that's just a life observation that I think is beautiful. And so yeah, I look forward to having more of those conversations. So a little bit about me. um, Again, I'm Dr. Sophia. Let's see, how did I get in, really being interested in sexuality and human as it relates to human development. I was a therapist, a general therapist, a school counselor, um, got involved in relationships that were healthy in some regards, and then also there was some addiction around the relationships. And I come from a background of learning. I was taught to be very codependent, and my codependence was the foundation of me learning how to be a sex and love addict. My experience is I was valued more for what I looked like and not for who I was or how smart I was or who I was as a person. And that taught me to use sex for power and control in relationships. And when I went to my first Mod 1 training, first of all, I went to the Mod 1 training because my friend told me it was a really good way to build a practice. And I was quitting my my school gig as a consultant at central office. And I was like, oh, okay, there's no CSATs in anywhere around here. And I was like, yeah, I'll go. I was like Celine. I got the whole thing in less than a year. I was like right there. And it was super fun. I traveled to do the trainings. I went to California. I went to Arizona. It was amazing. I met a lot of amazing therapists who I'm still in contact with, a lot of them today. And at the first Mod 1 I went to, Dr. Patrick Carnes got up and gave his spiel and then looked to everyone and said, and you are in this room for a reason. And I was just so defensive and insulted. And I was like, what is he talking about? He doesn't know me. And, then I went back to my hotel room and I was like, oh, this is really odd. Um, Gosh, I'm having an affair and, and maybe I do need to look at some issues. And so for me, that began a journey of a different 12 step. I was already in 2 12 steps. I was already in Al Anon and Coda. And, learning about sex addiction for myself and also realizing my codependency really was just a low level raging love addict. And so that began a professional journey and a personal journey that has been obviously life changing. It took me out of some very unhealthy relationships and out of a second very unhealthy marriage where I was also the partner of 2 addicts. And
Mm.
so, one being a pretty significant sex addict, and he does not have anywhere knowledge of that. The other one being a very significant sexual anorexic. And
Mm.
so, I've experienced a lot of this, and it's become, really my passion. I was trained in addictions anyway. I'm a very old school addictions therapist, which means I'm very directive, and that's what I find is effective. And it's also what helps people get quicker and feel better faster, rather than watching the train wreck happen over and over and over and over, which as a therapist, I don't do. And so I specialize in sex addiction. I'm also a certified sex therapist. I love working with partners with betrayal trauma. I enjoy trauma and grief work very much. I've developed an original grief model, which is healing early attachment woundings. It's the quickest and easiest attachment wounding work that I've ever experienced or seen in any training, and the feedback that I get back from everyone who does it with me, whether it's a workshop or an online version that's already been recorded or in person, is that it's life transforming, that it truly transforms how they're moving through the world. I also do a lot of reparenting, which is key to changing and creating new neural pathways in the brain, but also to creating new attachment styles, how we're going to move through our relationships. So I love doing this work with people. I also am a transgender care therapist. And like Celine, I'm interested in all things related to human sexuality and development. I as well feel privileged and honored when I get to help people learn how to experience connection and learn how to experience intimacy in their relationships, whether it's as a single person, because we can do all of this work as a single, or in a coupleship, or in a poly relationship, in any non-conforming, non-normative relationship. We can still do all of these things. So I enjoy helping people learn how to connect and also helping people learn how to heal at really the deepest of levels. And I'm super excited to be in Charlotte, and I just am, really blessed, blessed to have you beautiful people around me and with me, and you sharing your gifts with me and with, like Jeff said, we're going to meet so many new and exciting people and be able to help so many more people, and new opportunities for us to grow as people and therapists. And I'm just super thrilled to be on this ride with y'all. So let's think, anything else that we maybe left out, you all? Mm.
Could put a plug in for future episodes of this because we're going to continue doing
Oh
podcasts here.
yeah, it's on. Yeah. So Queen City Healthy Sex and Relationships podcast, it's on. It's happening. And Celine, you have a parenting transgender class coming up soon, and
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be in person. And
Mm-hmm.
so if people want to travel to Durham, they can contact you at your Celine at
Correct.
bullcitypsychotherapy.com email, but you're also going to be doing online versions of this as well in the
Yes.
future.
And
Yeah,
I plan to bring it to Charlotte when I'm a little more established there.
absolutely. When we learn the city. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
first we have to know how to get around. So, right. And we do have an office. Maybe I should say where the office is. Here, everybody. Here's the test. Can I remember the address? The answer is probably no, but I'm going to try. So we're at the Arboretum, which is a very great place. There's lots of good parking. It's private, and our office is private, which is nice. And let's see, the address specifically is 3315 Springbank Lane. And so everybody knows what the Arboretum is in Charlotte, but it's a really nice area. And again, parking is important, privacy is important. That's how our practice is here in Durham. And we just want to be sensitive to that. So yeah, we're in a great spot, and we're just excited to be there. So thank you everybody for listening. We are happy and excited to get to know you, and stay tuned for more episodes because they are coming. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks everybody.
Thanks.